Peace and love. It's Rick the Negotiator.
And this is Ray Daniels, a.k.a. the Culture Referee. And welcome to the God Show. And I want to give a special shout out to our today's show sponsor, Dope Coffee. And there's some other young ladies. What's the name? I want to say the name anyway. What's the girl's name? It was some young lady, Infused Crab. They was going to sponsor the lunch for today, but they got into a bad accident on the way over here. So I'm not going to shout them out as a sponsor because they didn't do that. But I want to definitely shout them out. Shout out to Tone Carey, Yoko Vaca, Lareco, and Two Laws Distribution. And shout out to everybody for watching this. Now that that's out the way, sometimes people give an intro and they say we have like the GOAT, or we have this, we have this. This guy needs an extra E on the. He needs to be called the GOAT. It ain't the GOATs. Today we have the GOAT, the person that made the word GOAT, like rap's first superstar, rap's first sex symbol, brought love songs to rap, has made, like I told him, I use this guy as an example when I talk to young artists and they tell me they starving. When I meet an artist, they tell me they starving, I'm like, how hungry are you? Then they perform for me and I'm like, you ain't hungry. And I put on the LL Cool J I'm Bad video. And I said, that nigga was hungry. He was everywhere. So I tell every artist on record, on this show, you can ask them, when we do the show, I'm like, you should look at LL Cool J I'm Bad video. So the fact that we have the GOAT, the motherfucking GOAT, I'm trying to curse that much, but the motherfucking GOAT on this show, I just want everybody to give it a large round of applause for LL Cool J.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you.
And by the way, let me tell you how I know he on his shit. Because you can tell when a new guy come back, when he come back and he like, I'm here, he either gonna say I'm gonna stay the same, or he gonna say I'm gonna do what we need to do, because I'm that dude. And the way LL's been dressing, men usually dress like the year that they was the hottest. Like if 95 was their year, they still dress like 95.
90s.
Yep. And you in this
motherfucker. Averex shit is mean.
You ain't got to go back on. You in this motherfucker sauce the fuck up. So I just want to tell you, thank you, man. And thank you for coming on the show, brother.
I'm happy to be here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all great.
Brother, we were talking, man, and this is probably the biggest interview. This is the biggest interview I ever done. This is the interview that my mother heard about.
Oh, wow.
Why the hell you ain't tell me you was interviewing on damn LL Cool J? I came down for that. I'm like, Ma, you don't need to come see me. You ain't LL Cool J, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is one of the biggest ones, man. So I wanted to ask you, like, you have survived. I don't want to use the word survive. You were the rap's first superstar, so you actually was in the era with Run DMC, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, right? Mm-hmm. Then you go on a run in the era against Jay, X, Ja Rule, all these guys in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And then you go into the era of the 2000s where you making hits, where you competing against the Nellies and all these people of the world. No, seriously, you had an illustrious career, but I always want to ask you, because we are still black from the hood, right? So we don't know that hip hop is gonna take it this far.
Right.
Were you playing Survivor, or were you thriving? Like, was it like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, or was it like intent? How you pivoted every time you pivoted to make the moves you did?
First of all, thank you for the intro, and
sure.
The young ladies who had the accident, Infused Crab, much love.
Yes.
Wish you success in your business.
Thank you.
Just doing what I love.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, like, you gotta love it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you really, really love something, you know what I'm saying, you keep going. You know what I'm saying? And I just always felt like, I was born to do this. You gotta remember, man, like, I became a fan of hip hop maybe 8 years old, right? So I heard everything before they was making records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Flash, Treacherous, like all of the things you could think of, Fearless, like all of the Force MCs, Cold Crush, right? Then at 11 or 12, I started writing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So by the time I was 14, I was looking to make a demo, and then I became professional at 16. So this is all I've ever known. It's like kids that box. It's like when you hear Floyd box or Javante box, or you hear these guys or these ball players, they talk about how they. So I've really been doing this since I was 8 years old, B.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not unnatural for me to perform at any point. You know what I'm saying? By performing, I mean contribute artistically at any point. The question becomes how, like, when I make a project, when I make a song, right, I'm thinking about how can I move it forward?
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but the goal is always to move it forward. It's never to follow.
Yeah.
I'm not looking like, I didn't like this new album, The Force, like I didn't create this album thinking about how I could sound. Like there's a lot of talented artists out there from Lil Baby to Gunna to, I mean, you name it, from Future, who's a little older than them, to whoever you want to name, right? I made this to do some new shit. Yeah. So it's like, that's how I think about it. So it's thriving.
I was about to say, because the thing about you that was always interesting is that you always, like, in order to win, and I know this as someone who's been in music business 20 years, even being in the podcast world for 2 years, the one thing you can't do is you can't get caught up in the hype.
No.
You can't buy into and I was watching your interview and I'm like, I feel like I was watching it and it was like, you were someone who knew they were born to be an MC and said, I'm gonna do everything I can to honor that space.
Gotta
right?
honor it.
Yeah, but some rappers was looking at themselves as like brands, right? You came to me from the school of like, fuck, the brand is that nigga eat me alive on that record, because you always came up like the rapper. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, bro. You can look great in your basketball uniform, nigga, but you gotta dunk that shit, man. You gotta drop some. You gotta put some points on the board. You look great in the uniform. Ooh, he spins it on his finger. Yeah. Impressive. Yeah. Like, you gotta. So that's the thing. So, and I learned early on, like I would go up to like some different guys. I'm not gonna say their names, but just say hello to somebody, and the way they would respond to me, they would be like a condescension or a little bit of, arrogance, which is different from confidence, right?
Yes.
Hit me with the arrogance, and it always just reminded me of how not to be.
Yes.
It was like a reminder.
Yeah.
It's like a no asshole policy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But be you.
Yeah.
But just, so yeah, man, just, you just gotta do what you love, man. If you love it and if you care about it, you could do it. Like, the thing is, do you care enough to go back to school? Do you care enough to, like with me, like with this project, I didn't just assume that I could just start where I left off. I actually went, taught myself how to rap again, listened to everything, really studied, really looked at the way songwriting has evolved and the way writing rhymes and hip hop songs has evolved, and really looked at the landscape and what's going on. Yeah. Because you gotta remember, no matter what I accomplish, like I had said this on another interview, but it's true, like Tim Hardaway had one crossover, but then when you look at Kyrie's handles, it definitely evolved. So you have to, and the same is taking place with hip hop. Yeah. So I can't just say, oh, because I've been rhyming since since rhyming was rhyming, that I have nothing to learn. Yeah. And I can't learn nothing from this kid, or I can't learn, because I watch everybody. Yeah. And I listen to everything, and I let that kind of feed my spirit. You dig what I'm saying? So that's part of it too. Yeah. Because a lot of times that, that I'm an expert mentality, I have you twisted.
It will.
You know what I'm saying?
It has you forgetting that you still got to play.
100%. And one other thing I'll add to that is the only thing that, like me, if I'm 16, if I'm 19, the only thing I care about is when I press play, if I like that shit. Like, do I like it or not? Because all that Wikipedia and your Google and your resume is extensive and your platinum and the words you made up, I don't give a damn. Like, is it hot? Yeah. Right. Is it hot? You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I was. So, and that's how I am. So
so when I was on my way over here, I was born in New York. I lived there till I was 12, but I was thinking about you on the way over here, and I'm thinking about like what you meant to me, right? And what you meant to our culture. And to me, I feel like, I'm gonna give you a comparison to see how you feel. I feel like you are Hulk Hogan of wrestling, right? Like first global star, like, cause
I just don't want to have them draws.
I got you. Brother.
No, this is a new album, brother.
Hey, you should use it on your promo, by the way. That shit work.
The moose knuckle.
Exactly.
brother.
But what I was saying, so I was like, you was like, when I mean by Hulk, I'm gonna tell you what I mean. Like, Hulk Hogan came up in an area where in wrestling you were a good character or a bad character.
Yes.
Like, you either was a good guy or you was a bad guy, and the bad guy was just bad, right? Yep. And then you get to the 90s, right? And now you have characters that we like as good guys, but they kind of are like bad guys. Now,
anti-heroes,
what made me say
Tony
that,
Soprano.
Exactly. So what made me say that about you was that when I look at the I'm Bad video, you came out in the era, and you also came up in the streets. So you knew about Supreme Team, you knew Alpo and them in the streets, but you still, when you did the I'm Bad video, it was still anti-drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was real hero shit. Yeah. It was like, I'm fighting the bad guys. I'm a good guy. And then in the 90s, now the drug dealers are rapping. Yeah. So now you like the good guy rapping, and now the guys that, it's like we did a reverse. And how do you feel about that? Did you notice that?
Well, what I would say is this. The reason why I was very comfortable doing the anti or rap or being a good guy is because I hung with bad guys every day, bro. And like when you really got to live that life, You want to be as far, like, don't nobody who's really doing that want to do that.
Yeah.
If they could find another way to do it, believe me, man,
Yeah.
they would have 900 laundromats.
Yep.
Believe me.
Right now.
Like, I promise you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There are very few, there's a couple every now and then who are just pure devil, right?
Yeah.
But other than the pure devil dude who's just like, you know what I mean? The majority, they don't even want to be doing that.
Yeah.
It's just an opportunity to not work at a fast food joint.
Yes, or,
you know
or
what I mean?
look cool at work.
Well, to have money,
Yes.
to live,
Yep.
right? And so because of that, I was always very comfortable with, you know, being polite, you know what I'm saying, having manners when I'm moving around. Because being around dudes like that every single day, you learn that it's better to move with manners and it's better to be, you know, because if you notice, the guys in your community that are the true OGs that really are running the joint, they're very polite and honorable. And you'd be like, I don't think you should talk to him like that, right? Like, this is what you learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's why in my music, I could do I Need Love. I could do these songs. I could do things that seem very kind of clean, because I have no insecurities about that, because I know the kind of guys I'm with every day.
Yeah.
So it was a different time in that regard, because people really didn't talk about certain things.
Yes.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
So it was like, you know,
it was like in the underworld for real.
Bro.
Yes.
Like, you know, we not, it's like, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's a different part of our world.
Yeah.
We know what happened, and we just gonna keep it there.
Yeah.
And you know, and so that's kind of why. So when I saw it, that transition, I understood it.
Yeah.
I understood the element. I understood that, you know, one thing about our culture.
Yep.
And you know, let's keep it a bean. Like, one thing about black people, if they smell some cash,
Oh man, we doing whatever it takes.
bro. Yo, it's like ants on honey. Like, you leave a piece of candy in the summertime in the backyard, and you go away for 2 minutes. You come back, them joints is all over it.
Yep.
Like, yo,
Yep.
yo, rappers getting money, huh?
Yeah.
Yo, that shit doing good, huh?
Yeah.
Show good, yeah. Yo, listen. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you do lollipop, he want lollipip.
Yep.
Y'all got the lollipip now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Like, remember the Heartbeats? He said Motown? Well,
Yeah,
Frotown.
Frotown.
It's like a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
so I never really begrudged. I understood it. I got it.
Yeah,
know
but
what I'm saying?
but you also could have said, it's like when you at the party and you look around, you like, oh, my people ain't here no more. This some new shit. You could have also said, I'm done, but you was like, nah, I'm about to show. That's the MC in you. That's the competitor you that never went away.
The difference is that for me, I never did it. Like, I always wanted money, but I also truly, truly loved hip hop and rhyming and MCing. So like, a kid wants the NBA contract and he dreams of that, but some of them really, really, really love ball.
Yes.
He's not just tall.
Yeah.
He's not just 6'4".
Yeah.
He's not just 6'9". He's not just whatever.
Yeah.
He really loves
Love
it.
this shit.
So the question becomes, that's the difference. You're gonna have the dude who's a hustler who snatches up the little kids on the block and manages them and is in it only for the money, and you may have another who really loves it.
Yeah.
You dig
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? So, you know,
Like kind of like with Cash Money, like Lil Wayne was the one that really loved rap, right?
yes, he definitely loved it. I don't know, I can't judge how much, but I'll tell you, I really respect like how they move. You know what I'm saying? Like I love, you know, the way Baby took all them kids and his brother and went in his neighborhood and basically saved their lives.
Yes.
You know, and said, you know, I'm gonna get you off the street. You know, and then Wayne dedicated himself to his craft, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And that's why he's successful now, and that's why he's going on to become a legend in the game and somebody that's highly respected, because he really took the craft seriously. And if you notice, he improved over the years.
That's my point. Like it was like he went from like loud pipes, big rims, and then you could tell when he knew he had the New York, the Jay-Z and them watching,
madness.
he kind of was like, I need to go learn how to really be an MC.
Very important.
And that's the most, that to me, when I see you, I see God MC. GOAT's there, but God MC, because you've never disrespected the craft.
No, you can't.
You knew what the craft did for you, and you
100%,
honored it.
100%. 100%. You got it, man. Like, you can't, like, I didn't get into it. I'm famous, and so when I walk in the room, people see me and they see a famous dude and all that. But that's by default.
Yeah.
I'm an artist, B. I'm an MC first.
Yeah.
The rest of it kind of came. You know what I'm saying? It's like a ball player. Like, when he walks in the room, you may see the famous guy, but the reality is the reason he's famous because he loves this.
Yes.
He does this. That's what I am. I'm not I'm not like a celebrity whore and all that, like just to be a celebrity. I'm a celebrity, you know, like I'm not in it for that.
Yeah.
I really love the craft of hip hop. I really love it. That's why, like, even something as simple as people I have a pet peeve about artists being uncomfortable saying they're MCs and leaving it at that.
Yes.
Like I know I do a lot of things. I do TV, I do business, I got all kinds of things going on. Yeah, it's true. However, I'm very comfortable if you say this is LL Cool J and he makes rap records.
Yep.
He makes hip hop. Like I'm good with that. Like this is not a stepping stone. This is not, it can be a bridge.
Yes.
But this is not like, you know, just like this shit is real.
This shit changed all of our lives.
This shit is real. Like you don't have to hide behind it and put a tie on and pretend that you something else.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, this is hip hop. Like I love this.
Yeah.
Like when we started Def Jam, I was shot out of a cannon, B.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, yo, we doing this shit. Like, yo, like I love this shit. You know, I told my mother, I'm like, Mom, yo, I got a 10-album contract. That sounds sacrilegious right now. And then I can hear the trolls now. Oh, you say they ripped them. Yeah, I can hear them now, but they don't even know what they're talking about because when you love it, man, you see opportunity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when you really, 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 truly take advantage of an opportunity, good shit happens.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
You were the first rapper to get women's love and men's respect at the same time.
On certain, yeah.
Certain things.
Nah, hold on.
I mean, there was a few of them, though.
Okay.
There was a few dudes, like I would say, you know, like, I mean, they weren't as known, but Spoonie G was, you know, very well known with the ladies and, well, see, there's levels to the shit.
On the mainstream level, because on the
mainstream level, yes. But I will say this. I will say that Houdini definitely, without a doubt,
the light eyes guy. My mother loved
all of them. All of them.
Ecstasy.
Not just the light eye. I was in the hotels and the tours. It wasn't just the light eye guy. Believe me.
The whole crew.
I was there, bro. They was the Superfly but you know what, man? Listen, it's not even about comparing yourself, even though it is competitive. It's like, look, I had the benefit of being around a lot of great people, you know what I'm saying? And it just ended up being, I was courageous enough to do what I wanted to do.
Boy, did you do it. Boy, did you do it.
They
know what I'm saying?
They don't talk enough about this is how I would describe you. I would describe, let's say hip hop was a neighborhood, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody was rapping in the park.
Right.
Def Jam was the first house in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right? And that
on
means,
certain levels.
No,
yeah.
I mean, like for us, like I can't think of. I mean, you know, of course, you knew the Sugar Hill Gang, but that was music. Def Jam was music, culture, people. It was like you knew who Russ was.
Okay,
you
I got
cared
you.
about it, right? So Def Jam, to me, Def Jam is still the most iconic brand in hip hop history, right? It started with you. Like you were the first. The way I look at it is like Leo and them with the parents. You were the first son in the house, like the first son that kept the
Leo
lights on.
came later.
Really? I thought Leo started with you guys.
No. Leo actually came later. Leo was
It was Rick Rubin. I'm sorry, Rick Rubin. Yeah.
Leo was a party promoter, right? And very cool. And, you know, then he started road managing Run DMC. And Run and them were on Profile. They were never on Def Jam.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was Rick but you're right. We were the, you know what I'm saying?
So you're the first house. So you were the guy in the house. But then to me, as hip hop grew, because we didn't know what it was in the 80s. Like nobody knew.
Right.
10 album deal was like, shit, that mean I made it if I got the 10 albums, you know what I mean?
Right.
It was
I want
like,
100.
I want 100 albums. That means y'all believe that I'm going to be here for 100 albums. That's what it meant to us back then.
Yes.
Not understanding the business side of it where it was like, no, nigga, they locking you in because they know you're going to be big and you stuck with them, right? But then at some point in time, like, it started expanding, right? And to me, I feel like, this is my personal take that I just want to tell you, I feel like because you were the first son, the first star, the first prodigy, when it was time for the business, it wasn't like, we didn't see you like that. So I remember vaguely when the president's situation went out, the world said they thought it should have been LL, right? Because he started it, right? I'm just telling you what the world said. I'm giving you my thoughts. You can skip fast. I'm giving you my thoughts. The world felt like that. But then when I hear you talk, even when I hear you talk now, like we didn't really hear LL talk. We heard it, but it wasn't like we hear it now. And I'm listening to you, I'm like, bro, you really get this shit. Like, you need a Rock the Bells University for MCs. Like, I feel like motherfuckers should go to the LL Cool J. Now, I'm for real. If you gave out degrees, because it will mean something, because that means I'm an MC. That almost putting pride in it. But, like, in my opinion, it feel like because you were the first, they didn't think see you as what we see you as someone who is here. And for me, I always wondered, like, did you ever feel like, man, like I should be that? Because it's nothing people don't talk about. It's nothing that I'm gonna say on record. A lot of the guys that came in the 90s were your age.
Yeah.
Like people act like you were older than them. No, like you was born 68. Jay was born 69.
Yeah.
Big was born 72. X was born, I think, 71. So these are guys that you would have went to high school with.
Oh, definitely.
So these ain't guys that you were older with, but because
It's like dog years in rap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But because you came when you were 16, it felt like you were the senior, but nah, they was your age. So I always felt like because you were the child prodigy, they never looked at you as like what hip hop was as far as it is a brand. You are a brand, bro. I wear this hat right now because of you.
Oh, thank you, man.
No, we all fucking do. I mean, anybody say on the regular, we all do. Like, I'm gonna tell you a funny story real quick. You got my ass whipped one day when I was like 13. So listen, let me tell you a story real quick. Ella, listen, I'm gonna find the video. I'm gonna find the video.
This
No,
is when
listen.
the whole interview
Crazy.
shifts. Motherfucker jump from behind hitting me with a pistol, get pistol whipped in this motherfucker.
So watch
I'm
this.
sorry.
No, so watch this. So I was like 13 years old. I got my first Kango, and I wanted to remake I'm Bad video. You know, your parents had a camcorder. So I tell my sister, yo, get the camcorder out. I'm about to do I'm Bad. So I'm on a chair, right? And I do the whole, and I jump up, and my head puts a hole in the ceiling. So yo, listen, yo, I'm about to tell you. I swear to God, my head puts a hole in the ceiling. And I'm like, I'm on the ground. This is before America's Home Phone 30 videos. I'm on the ground, laying down.
Yo.
So I'm trying to play it because I'm like, it's on tape. At least my mom think I'm hurt. She ain't gonna fuck me up that bad, you know, because it's on tape. But when she got to work and whip my ass after me doing that jump off.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that you were the MC, but we wanted to be like you.
Yeah.
And I feel like because you were the MC, maybe you didn't know it, but like we saw you as that guy. We saw you as the leader of our culture. And it was just always interesting to me that even when you started Rock the Bells, it's like no one looked at him and said, who would be better to talk to?
Yeah.
About an album, about a rollout, about music than you?
Well, you know what it is, man. Maybe a lot of that has to do with just the fact that I've never really promoted myself as a businessman. I never did. I've never done that. Like I've never said to my PR team, yo, paint the picture of me as a businessman.
Yes.
Because again, I got into it to rhyme on records and to do that. Yeah. And I love that. Yeah. And you talked about the president role. Yo, dog, I was not looking for a fucking 9 to 5. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sitting behind a desk talking about Billboard charts. Like I have zero interest in that. Yeah. You know, it's like, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm just not interested in that. Yeah. So that didn't matter. But starting a radio channel or, you know, starting Rock the Bells is different because I get to celebrate these artists and lift them up and make sure that the world celebrates them. And at the same time, embrace the youth in different ways. So that's a different thing. Yeah. Even though it's business, it's an extension of what I truly, truly love. I just wasn't interested in having a job. And then on the business end, things worked out great in terms of like the deal and, you know, you own
your masters, got all
that stuff. All of that worked out fine. I own my catalog. You know, like it just, you know, it's funny. Everybody has their own path, man. Yeah. And you got to be comfortable with that. Very. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be comfortable in your own skin. Be like, you know, a lot of these dudes, they want to be seen as businessmen. Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, I have no problem with that. But you know me, I want to make a dope ass verse. I want to make records in every era. I want to thread the needle. Yeah. I want to show people what's possible. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like the way Braun is playing at 21 years. Yep. Like insane. I'm more interested in that part of the game. Like he makes a lot of money.
Yeah. We know that part, but he still loves it.
I think he can get a cheeseburger. I think he's doing all right. I think he can. But the thing is, we admire his longevity in the game, the fact that he can keep playing at a high level. That's what I'm in it for that. Yeah. Like, you know, I'm in it for the cultural impact. That gets me off. You know, and I care about it. Yeah. I care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I really care about that. Yeah. And
because when you talk, you know your shit. Like, no, because some people talking, you like, no, they let them talk
talking about? Right.
You know, because you know they expose that they don't know. They can look like a boss, but I was like this whole weekend, I was just listening to interviews. And I'm like, number one, didn't know you was that funny. Didn't know that, like knew that stuff that we knew, and didn't know that you you know, you could talk that shit, and it was just like, he was like, yeah, I could do all that, but I want everybody here to know. And when
Yeah.
y'all, I will out rap, I will out bar, like
Well,
that's what it felt like.
I'm gonna address that. So throughout my career, look, man, you know, when we started, man, there were no hip hop managers, really.
Yeah.
Russell was like the only one. He was a promoter / manager. He was a label head. There was no industry. There was no PR. So we didn't have anybody to really look at and say, okay, this is how you have a hip hop career. This is how you do it, right?
Yep.
So I had to look at, who did I have to look at? I had to look at ball players. I had to look at athletes. I had to look at this one and that one. And one of the things I noticed, you know, is that, you know, they kept things pretty close to the vest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because they kept things close to the vest, I just kind of kept things close to the vest. So my answers may have seemed a little vanilla and a little bit more like, I don't know, like, is he telling, like, I don't know this guy, or, you know what I mean?
Yes,
like, not as quite like living roomish, right?
He was playing the artist role. That's the role you thought you were supposed to play. So that's what
and
you
so
played.
what happens is, you know, you fast forward to now, we live in an era now where, you know, people need to just, you know, we need to just talk on this level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the real shit and just let y'all just have it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
By the way, I'm glad you're doing that, by the way.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We need that.
Just give them that. I'm just giving them the candid, transparent shit. You know what I'm saying?
Straight
And
up.
so that's the difference.
Yes.
Like, I'm just keeping it 100 with
Nah,
you.
for
That's
sure.
the difference. You know
Nah,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
And, you know, it's just like, because it'd be so much bullshit swirling. You just, at a certain point, you cannot tiptoe through that shit. You got to put your boots on and just stomp through some shit. Yeah, so
stomp through some shit.
that's what it is.
So I want to ask you. I just had to ask you. Brought love into rap.
a lot of it, yeah.
Not a lot of it. The first love song I ever heard.
No, it's true.
Was I need love, and
It's
by the
true.
way, it said love in the song.
Yeah, no question.
It could
No,
say
it's
I need a
true.
girl, but you said I need love,
No
right?
doubt.
You brought rap. You brought love into rap.
Yeah.
That's your fingerprint is on that, right?
Yeah.
Period. So I want to ask you, out of everything you did, what is your personal favorite style of music to make for you?
So, okay, here's the thing, right? First of all, and you may have heard me say this before, I make two different types of projects,
Yep.
right? I make cultural albums and I make experimental albums. So when I make the experimental albums, I don't, pardon me. When I make experimental albums, I don't necessarily think about what people are gonna say when they hear it.
Because you know you experiment.
Yeah, and most of the time people hate them shits.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it 100 with you. They hate the fucking album. Shit is trash. They hate it.
Yeah.
Right? But I do it anyway because I'm a fucking
You're
nut.
You're artist.
Okay, I'm nuts. So I'm like, I know you're gonna think this is dog shit. I don't care. All right? So there's that.
Yep.
Then I make cultural albums where I'm like, yo, I'm gonna touch you with this. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, you know, okay. All right, so the love thing, like, it's like, I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do what I wanted to do, man. And like chicks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna let nobody hold me back. You know what I'm saying? There was a part. What was the first part of the question?
I was saying like you brought love records in there, but what is your favorite style?
Oh, my favorite style. Okay, so
then you can also do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 when you can spit
this is
bars.
what
So
I
it's
was gonna
like-
tell you. No,
yeah.
what I was gonna tell you is that what would happen sometimes with these albums is sometimes, like me personally, I prefer making songs like Il Bomb. I prefer making songs like Rock the Bells, if you want to go further
Sure.
back, or
What?
or Doing It, or like, you know, I prefer the harder side of my catalog, quite frankly.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, personally.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna buy a Mobb Deep album before I buy I Need Love.
Yes.
That's me. Like, I'm just keeping it 100 with you, right? However, sometimes when you're making music, if I don't like the hard records that I'm making, if I don't like the harder edge, if I don't feel that they deliver like I want to deliver, I just don't make them. I would, if this thing is clicking, sometimes you know, it's like this thing, like the muse doesn't like to be observed. If the muse is leading me into this thing, then I'll just go ahead and give it to the world that way.
Yeah.
But that's not always what I prefer.
Yeah,
You
that's what I was
understand
asking
saying?
you as the MC and you. Yep.
So like this album, like the new album, this shit, it's hard.
So I was at your event in LA where you was, by the way, it felt like a New York event. It felt like a hip hop event. Like that's why Jack laughing, because you walk in and take the phones and you go in there and it said it was like we was in a pit and you was just in there just bar for bar, rapping. I was like, he on this shit.
They be wanting to vomit about the phones, don't they?
Nah, I ain't care. I liked it though.
They be wanting to vomit. Yeah, give it up. Don't give it up.
Exactly.
But I'm important. Give me the fucking phone, bro. Right. The shit.
Exactly.
You can put your phone down for an hour, man.
Yes, yeah.
You're gonna be all right.
But not only that, it made us focus on what you were saying.
Yes.
That's the most important thing.
Yes.
So now we're listening, and I'm like, oh no, he ain't playing like he coming back he coming back with the bars like George Foreman. Like, who want to box with me? Who want to get in the ring? So I can knock a couple of y'all niggas out right now. You want to come to me, but I'm gonna knock your ass out when you get over here. But I was just like, I want to know that for my personal thing, because you are one of those most diverse artists, right? Like you can give like Around the Way Girl, but you can give a real bar, and you could do it all. Yeah. But I just always wondered, like, what was the shit that you like? What was the shit you? Because I was gonna ask you, like, if you said play one record. If you ask me to play one LL Cool J record, number one, your name is Ladies Love Cool James, right?
Yeah,
so I'm like, Ladies Love. So the first thing I'm gonna say is, it gotta be I Need Love. I might argue I'm bad or but for you, I wanna know what's the record you like, play that.
I mean, that they would know.
It's not fuck them. It's about you. Like, you the MC.
No, because I got a new album, and what I'm
even
saying.
if it's on a new album, like, what do you want us to hear, like, you want us to know?
So, I tell you, man, like, doing it is pretty special, man.
Crazy.
That's a pretty special joint.
Crazy.
Super classic.
That shit is
crazy.
You know what I mean?
Everything about it. Everything about it.
Methods of making love kind of bomb. Hey, that shit is like
the energy bro.
Yeah, we all for one with that. We all for one with that. Like, you can't really go wrong with that wild shit.
Yeah, for doing is
crazy. But like I tell you, people haven't heard it, but the song I got with Saweetie, the Proclivity shit is crazy. I'm telling you, Proclivity is like I see that joint I got with Saweetie, that shit wild, B. I'm telling you, you hear that joint, you're gonna be like, oh, this shit wild. This is wild, B.
So on the Force album, you have classic artists, but you also have young up and coming real MCs, right?
Yeah.
What? First of all, does LL have a wish list where he like? Because I feel like it's nobody who you can't get on a record. So it's like when you so because you have the option for the world. What was your thought process curating who you wanted on it and who you felt will work for right now?
Sonics, like subject matter and sonics.
Yeah,
it has to. It's casting.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's like this feels right. Like when I did this song with Joe and Ross, it's because I wrote a song. Always keep your word. Always pay it back. It's hustler vibe. It's all of these things, and Ross and Joe embody that.
Yeah.
The joint I did with M when me and Tip was sitting there and he was messing with the keyboard and he started messing with them fast synths and all that. It's like, yo, this would be me and M could kill us. I'm hitting M up, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like the Spirit of Cyrus when we Snoop, it was the synths and so it all just gotta make sense.
Yeah.
From that place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I create. And what I'm not interested in doing is, oh yo, you hot right now. Let's make a record. That's what I'm not doing.
And by the way, that's what I caught.
Yeah.
That's what I love.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Because the thing that I hate when artists, like the thing that I hate that happens in this business is that sometimes we artists forget who they are. Like, you know what I'm trying? And for me, it's like,
never knew.
Or never knew, exactly. They were just in the moment. By the time they knew, it was over. Yeah. The streak is over. It's like, damn, I could have did all of that. Damn. But you, to me, when I'm watching, I'm like,
as they work the register at the gas station. God damn it! I said if I'd just did that fucking remix with LL. God damn it!
When they told me to do I Need Love, I said that's lame. And the niggas 30 years later, he's still here. Like, he knows a few of those.
Yo.
By the way, my stepfather was one of those. I ain't gonna. It's a whole other story. He just tell me. They said I was nice as LL back in the day, and I'm like, man, I wish you was nice now though. You know, so we could be out the projects. But it was good to hear. I took pride in it. But as I got older, I got out of it.
Yo, that shit's funny.
I got out of it.
It's funny.
I want to ask you: is there anybody in your list that you're like, man, I want to do a song with them, even dead or alive, that you like, I wish I would have had a chance, or I won a chance? Is there anybody that you have that you want to do a song with, or a couple of people that you like, you would love to do something with?
That I would love to do a song with?
Yeah. You don't have to wish.
Not
Hold on,
really.
listen. Ron.
really.
He don't have to wish.
Yeah, not really.
Ray, if I woke up
Because-
beside
not
I want to
really.
do a song,
Not
they'll
really.
do it with me.
Not really. I mean, there's artists that it could be probably an event and could be fun.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not on no cocky rocky shit. It's just like I'm making the music I
Yeah.
want to make. Like, you know, like I thought me and Nas should work together. Like
Sure.
I got Nas is on the album.
Yeah, I saw.
we made a song, right?
Yeah.
So I would have said maybe Nas, but I work with
did it,
Nas
yeah.
now. You know, it's just like, you know, it's funny, dog. It's just like, it's about inspiration, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's really about the inspiration. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a scenario where I could, you know, see maybe, you know, doing something with Rakim, but you know, we're gonna have to intellectually arm wrestle and all that. You know, he gonna have to break down the molecules for me and all that shit. You know what I mean? He gonna start with this molecule shit. You know what I mean? That's my man, though. I love him.
I gotta ask you a question.
You know,
You just-
he laughing right now.
You just
As he, what's up, Rob?
you just inspired the question I have to ask you. In your era, you ran eras. You
Yeah.
was there was not an era where you was doing it where you weren't at the top.
Yeah.
Who in every era, in the 80s, the 90s, and you would say the 2000s, who would you say, who are you looking at like he killing it? Or like,
Bro. Like, come on. All of them. I mean, there was first of all, the 80s and 90s were much more, much more is the wrong word because that's disrespectful. It was a different type of competitiveness.
Yes.
Okay? A different kind is a better word than
Yep.
much more.
Yep.
Because, see, the one thing about the internet is, yes, it's competitive. That's true. However, your fans can kind of find you and exist in your world and your world only.
Yep.
Right? So that kind of, which is
changes
different.
everything.
Which is different from there being a world where you are forced to fight for space.
it's 40 spots on radio and you got to get one of those
that's
spots.
it.
When you got to fight for space, it's different from when, like, because everybody can,
Yeah.
like I saw a clip. I saw Offset. You know, that's my man.
Yeah.
I saw him performing in Belgium. I'm like, you don't have to, like. It's different now, you know what I'm saying? Like I literally, you know, like I walk into a program director's office, right? They're looking at us, rap nigga, look at this rap nigga. He got his gaiters on and shit. He got his fucking cameo playing in the Cadillac. You know what I mean?
He was in the South somewhere. He was in the South.
We're considering playing your song, buddy. Right? You know, all that old shit. And it's just like, we had to really deal with a different type of
a gatekeeper.
entry barriers to entry. So that change, that's a big game changer, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
huge.
saying? Like people may not see that as a big game changer, but like I put it to you example, like Soulja Boy.
Yep.
You right? Like Soulja got a whole career. I respect Soulja.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? He got a whole career. I'm the first rapper to say he respects Soulja. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking
You are. You gonna take that shit. Hello, Cool J.
Soulja, I'm just playing, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want no problems, bro.
Exactly.
Right? So, like, but you look at Soulja, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, his career isn't possible when we started.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Like, when we started, he couldn't have now he has a career, he has a life, you know, he has fans, you know what I'm saying? He's able to go do shows, he's able to do his thing.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So that, you gotta respect that.
Yeah.
So it's a different world in that regard. It's like everybody can play in the NBA.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like if you can bounce a ball, you can play in the NBA.
Yep.
Whereas, you know, man, imagine a world like that.
Yeah.
That's what hip hop is like now.
Now.
The only difference is now is what happens is when you listen to a song like mine with passion and you really listen to it, and after you get over the shock of it not sounding like what's going on, you realize you're like, wait a minute, this motherfucker could really rap.
Yep.
You know, like you listen to some
Yes.
songs and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like you start A-B and shit, you're like, God damn, like you hear the difference
Yes.
because everybody can play in the league now.
Yep.
So that's kind of the difference. You understand what I'm
Now,
saying? So Rakim, Run DMC, first of all, like to answer your question, Run DMC. I mean, I mean, live, you know, you had to be there. But
nothing sonically felt like that.
It was like
crazy.
It was like getting struck by lightning with a metal suit on. You know what I mean? Shit was bananas. You know what I'm saying? This shit was, you know what I mean? Shit was crazy, right?
Yes.
So then Rakim, he comes out. It's just like it was like a motherfucker was chasing me around with a saxophone. I couldn't get away from
Like, what the
it.
fuck
I
is that?
came in the door. I said, and I loved it,
Yes.
right? Big Daddy Kane, who, you know, was like my favorite. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the bars, the way he would put his stuff together. Public Enemy, you know, Chuck D's voice.
Yes.
The Welcome to the Terror Dome. The messages, the stuff he talked about. Uzi weighs a ton. Like, I mean, all of that. So, man, them eras was like completely different. And then even moving forward, hearing all the other artists, Biggie and Jay and all these different guys, like it was a whole different world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was, but now here's the beauty of it. Now, the artists, and especially the ones that really love the craft, their intellect is truly on display. See, that's the difference. See, people, you know, I think a lot of times these guys that start early, they don't know how to fucking give it up for the young boys, man. They got to cut that shit out, man.
Come on.
The young boys, like, they're smart. Like, I mean, like the fact, it just cracks me up that Kendrick put all them signs on homie's fucking house.
Yes.
Like this shit is crazy. This is like, this ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but it's the funniest shit in the world to me. Like, it's bananas.
Yes.
And like that kind of thinking, you have to respect that. Like, you got to say, well, this is a smart little motherfucker. This shit is crazy.
Exactly.
It's bananas. So their thinking is the late. It's like when I got out of the car, I was joking with with the teams with the cameras. Oh, the cameras on. But what I'm really thinking is that this generation, they think on a much more multi-layered. The thinking is far more layered.
Yeah.
See, the thinking used to be kind of like back in the days. It was okay. You do the song. That was it.
Yep.
Then it transitioned to you do the song and you do the video.
Yep.
Right? Now it transitions to you do the song, you do the video, you have a brand, you do a book, you have the movie, you have the music, you monetize it, you have a platform. You have like the layering of the thought process is completely different. You'll have a girl on the corner, she'll do one bar with a mic hanging down, and goddamn it, she's starting a whole empire off of that.
Right there.
In her thinking.
Right there.
Right?
Yep.
So that's why it's very important for established artists to pay attention to the youth and pay attention to what young artists, how they're thinking and how they're approaching it. These dudes it's like you got to get up off of that shit.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a basketball player and I'm sitting in the crowd, I'm looking at Kyrie's handle. I'm like, oh, okay. Shit, I'm looking at Caitlin Clark. I'm like, okay, oh, you put her on her knee. Oh, okay. I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at everything. I'm saying, okay. I see, oh, Lil Baby, you did some political shit. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because they would have tried to just label you as a mumble dude, but you said, fuck that.
I'm more than that.
Oh, you sharp. You doing math on the goddamn IG, doing math when you doing the jewelry and all. Like, I'm peeping all that shit. I'm looking at everything and saying, these guys, I'm respecting the culture in the community. And you got to do that. You got to be open. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say. So it just went from there, you know. And then so now it's like the competition is different.
Speaking of competition, you went through battles and like war.
Oh, yes.
Who was the person that you said who gave you the battle that you feel like was the one that once you got through, because you never lost one.
No.
You never lost one.
Right.
Who gave it to you?
Well, it makes me laugh.
That's hard, right? That's hard. Like, well,
You know what it remind me of? Remember that interview with Charlamagne with the I forget my man, the comedian, the white dude, and he was like, he was like,
exactly. Carry on.
Yo, that shit was funny. Crazy. I like that dude.
Yeah.
I like the comedian. He's funny.
Sure.
I don't know his name, but anyway.
Gary On.
Gary On. I like him.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, I would say out of all of them, probably Cannabis, because he was a pain in the ass. And I was a little more disconnected.
Yes.
So it made it way more difficult.
Yes.
It was like, it's like one of the Rocky movies when he's driving through the tunnel with the fucking Rolls Royce. He's like fucking, and he's having flashbacks and shit. And he's fucking riding. And this motherfucker got a lot of more. Got this Mr. T motherfucker over here rapping out the basement.
Yeah.
And he's fucking riding. It's like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So it was like, that was the vibe. So it was him, but it was more about, look, I was doing sitcoms and shit. Like I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like,
a whole other space.
He's rapping at my ears, biting at my calf muscle. I'm over here doing sitcoms and shit. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy right now. This motherfucker fucking with me, bothering me in the middle of the night. People asking me.
Got Mike Tyson running in the sand like, what are we doing?
And you know, our culture is crazy because they won't leave you alone about this shit. Yeah, what you gonna do? You see your man.
Yeah.
What you gonna do about your man? So you just gotta deal with this shit, right? So I would say cannabis. I would say him, and I wish him the best with everything.
Nah,
you know
but for sure, I imagine that. So listen, we don't have a lot of time. I got a couple more questions. So we're not gonna play the cut game, but I want to ask you. We have a segment called We have a segment called Credit Check, right? And to me, people always say give people their flowers. That's great, but what we like to do is give people their credit, right? So like for us, it's like we give people like yourself a chance to shout out 2 to 3 unsung heroes in the LL Cool J story that you just feel like deserve some credit right now. You want to shout out.
Okay.
Who would that be for you?
So, my man Silver Fox.
Okay.
Silver Fox from Harlem, Grant Projects. I knew how to rap, but it was like, I use metaphors. It was the equivalent of having an older ball player from the street show you more stuff. Show you more handle.
Yeah.
Show you how to body somebody, box out. Show you how to shoot from the elbow. Show you how to go to the corner. Show you how, you know what I'm saying?
Beyond the basics.
Pick and roll, but get you good. So I would say Silver Fox. I would say Bill Adler, who was my first publicist and the first Def Jam publicist, who kind of taught me the importance of just press and doing it the right way and doing interviews. Like I be over in London and I ain't understand their human shit, and they ask me a question, I'm mad, I'm tight. I'm tight as a drum, I'm upset. I used to be mad in interviews and shit, getting pissed off, thinking they try to disrespect me. You know what I mean? Like,
I know that
the shit was funny as hell. Like they might ask you some shit like,
what the fuck you asked me that for?
It reminds me of that. What's that girl, that lady, the Bobby girl with the young...
Bobby Altinov. Like,
with the young female, I don't know the young black girl, I forgot her name. The young
Kiana.
Yeah, and she was talking and she was just like, fuck you mean? And they was like going back. I was like that. Everything was like that.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. No, I understand exactly what you're saying. Don't play with me.
So why do you rap? What do you mean, why do I rap? What kind of fucking question is that? Like this. So it was that. So Bill Adler. And then I would say,
what's good, everybody? This is Ray Daniels, aka the Culture Referee. And if you were wondering who this beautiful woman sitting next to me is my sister Tiffany Daniels Sy. Let's give it up for my sister. Everybody can clap. This is good. And my sister she's the most talented person in the family, and we started a family business, a signature scent company. So if you smoke a lot of weed in your car and you want to get the scent out, you have to check out these scents. I know guys that use it for the weed. I know people that use it for cologne, and everywhere they go to get compliments. We make candles. We make
room sprays. We got them in kits. So if you want to buy something for your loved one or anybody that you care about, hit us up, LorraineCo.com.
And we're going to put the website at the bottom of it. But support this black business, support this black woman, and order, I promise you guys. As a matter of fact, use the word gods, and we'll give you 15% off. I just made that up, so if my sister's face looks crazy, don't get mad at her. I'll eat that. But guys, when I tell you this shit is incredible, you really should check this out.
The best scents ever.
LorraineCo.com. And we'll put it at the bottom of the screen. Thank you.
Thanks.
Man, I mean, after that, man, there's so many people, but I would say
one good one.
Yeah, I mean, after that, man, it's
2 or 3. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the God Show.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I want to play one round of cut. I just want to ask him because he's there.
All right.
I know. I got respect. You
better
know that.
I got a second. Go ahead.
I got you. I'm gonna ask you. So we do this thing called making a cut, where we give you 3 options, right? And I got 3 options I want to ask you.
All right.
And if you pick the option, you got to pick one to sign,
Right.
one to develop, and one you're going to cut. But you have
Okay.
to say, I'm cutting it. If you don't
Okay.
say you cutting it, you got to donate $20 to the kids. All right.
Ouch.
Yeah,
okay.
Some nigga be like, what, nigga?
Yo, I gotta keep it real. You gotta up that number.
No.
That $20 shit's out. You know,
Now, if
we
I
gotta
do
up
it,
that. We gotta work on that.
LL Cool J said this. I don't want to hear nothing.
100. Look, let's cut this shit. We gotta work on that $20.
I got you.
Yeah, we gotta work on that.
We trying to make it fun.
Go ahead.
80s era of rap, 90s era of rap, 2000s going into the 2010 era of rap. Which one do you sign? Which one do you develop? Which one do you cut?
You said sign, develop, or
Well,
cut?
it's basically which one do you want? Which one do you feel like needs a little work, and which one are you like? I'm not gonna fuck that at all.
But what's crazy is it all lines up exactly how you laid it out.
Are you
You're
gonna
gonna
sign
sign
the
the 80s, you're gonna develop the 90s, you're gonna cut the fucking 210. You're cutting that shit, B. That shit getting cut, B.
Yeah.
It's nasty, B.
It's
a cold world, baby. It's a cold world, bro.
Nasty work.
2010, that's nasty. That's getting cut. I guess Headsprung might be the fuck it. Headsprung. That shit out of here.
Hold on, okay,
all that shit out of here. Headsprung, all that shit.
Okay, a couple seconds.
That shit out of here, B.
I gotta ask you, what is your personal favorite record that you heard? Because you know how this is. You're very conscious. I love that. You like, I know when I'm experimenting, I know I'm in my bag.
Right.
What was a record that you said, as soon as this come out, you knew, out of here?
You know what's funny, man? I'm gonna keep it very real with you. I've never known that.
Really?
No.
Because I'm not gonna lie, when you...
No, I've never known that because you know why? Like every time I think I know, surprise, surprise, you don't fucking know. That lady comes busting through the door with her surprise song.
Yes.
It's like, you don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like the older stuff I was a kid, but when I was in the music business, when you dropped Love You Better,
It felt right.
the whole world stopped and they said, that was the one time that people called and said he back. And I'm like, he back? They was like, no, nigga, 6-pack out, shirt, like he's up.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like Love You Better was
That was a good moment. That was a great moment.
because it was instant. It was like, we didn't have to, it was like.
It was a great moment.
Man.
But you know, the thing is also, the question becomes, what kind of music are you trying to put out, right? Like, so that's a song that was still the era of radio.
Yes.
And so, you know, when radio really dominated hip hop, radio doesn't dominate music anymore. It's still a big part of music and we still love it. When we're in the car, maybe we listen, but everybody's binging everything, right? Like you listen to an album, the reason why albums last a certain time now is because you're gonna listen to your favorite album 900 times in a half an hour and you finish. like motherfuckers, like they binge this
beat it
shit.
to death.
Like you used to get piecemeal the albums and you could kind of live with it. So like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, it does. For me, I just was wondering. Like,
So what I was gonna say is, like right now, if I was looking for just the pure commercial impact, I have other songs on my album that are far more like, quote unquote, commercial. So not that I aimed for that, but I do have songs that are.
You know the difference.
100%.
For sure.
I did not put out songs where I didn't need to.
Yeah.
See, a lot of those songs that I put out back in the days, I had to put out Around the Way Girl. I had to put out these certain songs because the radio would not allow us to do anything else. They were not going to play certain things. So we had to make adjustments.
Go back to the gatekeeper thing you said.
Exactly,
We had to
right?
kill that dude in the
Right.
fucking in the alligator shoes and the cigar.
100%.
I got to make sure he likes it for me to eat. Yeah?
Right. So like Saturday Night Special with Ross and Joe,
Yeah.
that would be an album cut,
Yes.
right? And Passion that people, that would be an album cut. But that's the shit I like.
Yeah, me too.
So now I can put it out. People get exposed to it, and then ultimately they will hear other things, and they will hear some things that are a little bit more,
Yeah.
But you feel
got
what I'm
you.
saying?
Last question.
Yeah.
Because I know I got to get this out, and I'm gonna actually say something to whoever's the publicist, Def J. I'm gonna say something. We need to get the word the way, because LL does not get, in my opinion, the credit for the word GOAT the way Lil Wayne gets credit for the word bling, right? And the way they celebrate it. Now, seriously, you created the term GOAT, and I feel like, so when we saying kids out there, Michael Jordan's the GOAT, me and my son argue all day, he's 15, man, LeBron's the GOAT. I'm like, we don't have the word the GOAT.
Yeah.
Without this man next to you. So I want to clap for that, Rook. I got to do that. We got to find a way to put that into, it's already in the zeitgeist, but we have to find a way to put it on paper where they know it's you. That's the first thing. But the last question I ask, which I got to ask because it's on there, this is the God Show, which is an acronym for GOATs and underdogs.
Right.
what do you consider yourself?
Both.
I was praying he's gonna say the mother, but okay.
I
was praying he's gonna say the mother. That would have been it.
No, but let me tell you why.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. Because I'm doing something that hasn't been done before, right?
Yes.
Like, you know, this is my 40th year and I'm relevant.
As a fuck.
Can we clap for that, ladies and gentlemen, please?
I mean, you know, that's like
Who has 40-year runs not named Michael Jackson?
that's some different shit,
That's
bro.
different.
Like when you 40 in and you're like, yo, the new shit coming, and people like, yo, I actually want to hear that.
Yeah, but you know,
I mean,
but you know,
so
I'm gonna say one thing though. The thing I like that you did was when I always talk to rappers who are like not like babies, like 20s. I'm always like, rap is about messages, it's about affirmations. This is what it's built on. From I'm bad to I got it made. Like it was stuff that we could say to make us feel good,
That's
right?
true. That's
so
fact.
when
Yo, that was a great observation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So when I heard your song, always keep your word, and I'm like, that's an affirmation that a father would say to his son.
Definitely.
And that's why I liked it. So when I heard it, that's what actually excited me, because I'm like, you could have came back and tried to, but nah, you gave us grown man rap.
So let me expand on that before I bounce. I'll tell you this, man. Listen, it's okay to talk about paper. It's okay to talk about success. There's nothing wrong with that. That being said, there's got to be more to us than that.
Yep.
We can't be that one-dimensional.
Yep.
You know, it's at a certain point, it's like, nigga, we know you rich.
Yeah.
We know you got money, B.
Yeah.
Like, can you please talk about something else? Like, for the love of God, I like your plane.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
Could you please just talk about something else?
Yes.
It's kind of like the dating world,
Yeah.
where, the guys that got money, they sit across from the girl, and he's still a cornball.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's like, I got a free dinner. He's a fucking cornball.
Exactly.
I like the guy, the mechanic down the
Yes.
block. He just don't, but
he ain't got
but I'm
that
gonna
paper,
go.
though.
Oh, but she's doubling back.
doubling
But that's
back.
a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. But this cornball, he got money and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's like, with the music, it's kind of like that.
Yep.
It's like there's a certain point where you talk about the money, you're underdog, you're doing all that. And then there's a point where it's like, okay, now tell us something else. We don't mind you flossing. We know that's our culture. You can have a car. We get it.
Yeah.
Be fly. But give me something else to... give me some other shit to work with, bro.
By the way,
and so that's the thing.
Speaking of giving you something, first of all, let me just say this. You are the GOAT. You're not the GOAT. You're not a GOAT. You are the GOAT. We don't get GOAT without you. That's the first thing.
That's true.
So this is now considered the LLC, right? So if anybody comes from now on, they sit in the LLC.
Yo,
The
everybody
GOAT
ain't
seat.
going to be happy to hear that.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, they can't say they the GOAT or whatever because you gave us the
I
term.
made it up. Yeah,
and
that's true.
bro, like this is like you don't. I've been in the music business 20 years. I had a lot of success. I love it. But this is my first time going out on my own, trying to do something different. And you know how it is.
I do.
You've pivoted a few times, right?
Lots.
King pivot, by the way, right?
Yep.
Which I want, I got you.
Yeah.
And for me, man, I just want to tell you, thank you for doing the show, bro. Nah, seriously. And as a thank you from the God Show, one of our sponsors is a company called Tote Carry. And I mean, look, I know you got the money, it's nothing. I get it all. And one of our sponsors is also Lareco. That's my sister's company that she makes sense. I'm gonna give that to you. But I just want to gift you something, man.
All right.
Because, man, we really appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
And I know sometimes you sit with people, but this shit made my year.
It's my
It didn't make
pleasure,
my
bro.
day, bro.
Year.
It made my year.
I'm happy to do it, man.
You
Happy
did, bro,
to do it.
because when Ron told me it was an option, and then Natina walked up to me and said, LL gonna do a show, I was eating, bro. No bullshit. We was at the YouTube dinner, I'm eating. And she was like, did I tell him to get LL to do a show? I said, you lying. She said, yeah, Then she was like, I said, I gotta tell him. She said, you need to come meet him. I'm like, I'm meeting him now? Like, bro, I was so excited, bro.
We gotta
And I
do
real
that.
talk, bro.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just want to give you something. Let me just grab this real quick.
Okay.
Right next to you.
I love it, man. That's a good vibe.
Man, listen, man. So this is My Sister Makes Sense, man. And this
Oh,
is
dope.
all made at her home, man.
Okay.
This is- we wrote you a letter. I want to give you
Dope.
that. And then, I'm going to do something
Dope.
for you. Not that you need it, but,
Dope.
hey, man. I just want to get you
My
a
man.
bag set.
Thank you.
For yourself.
Any money in these
I'm glad-
motherfuckers? Are they I made up the
I
goat.
wish there was some money in there. I wish it was.
Since I made up the term goat, stuff these motherfuckers.
Listen. I just want to give you that, man, because, bro, like, you are You are
Thank you.
one of our heroes, one
Thank
of
you,
my
brother.
heroes. I remember, I could tell you so many stories. I remember being in the bed, grandma's house in Webster Projects, and you performing at the Apollo, and all of the girls in the family waited. Remember that, Tiffany? Everybody waited up for you to come on, and the girls went to sleep because you came on late. And I said low under my breath, LL Cool J about to perform. My cousin, Naughty Lisa, everybody jumped like, oh, hello. And it was like, I ain't never seen no shit like that, bro. Nobody has that. And
That's
I just
funny.
want to tell you, man, you are the GOAT. We celebrate you, and you are that motherfucking nigga.
Thank you,
sir.
bro.
And we love you, my
you,
nigga.
man.
Thank you for
I
doing the show.
appreciate you, bro.
And shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to everybody doing it. Shout out to Def Jam. This is the Guys Show. We are out.